And I was gonna ask you, man. You're like the Lakers, man. You're like the marked man, right? Like everybody tries to go after you, right?
Yeah, I am. It's funny because when it comes to trading, people don't want to trade with me. They're like, no, don't trade with Smoove, and
Yeah, yeah.
because they don't want my team to get better with the trades.
Uh huh.
And it kind of makes me a better player because I pretty much just come out of the draft not expecting to make any deals. And
Right.
so I basically just pick players that I know that I can play with. And I think it's just fun to see me use players that other people wouldn't use and they don't like. And that's why I like to post the draft videos where I show my drafted team
Yeah.
because I like to see the reactions. Like every single year, they're like, "Oh, Smooth, that team's not really that good. I don't know about this one." And then at the end of the season, my team is balling and we're killing, and so it's fun to see their reactions to my drafted team, and
Yeah.
it's for me to see if I can actually play good with them.
Right.
So
I love watching those, man, because I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, let's get D Wade, Chris Smoove, let's get LeBron, let's get Kobe, and then you're down there, you're probably picking like 12th or something or whatever, and you're not even sweating it, and and you pick up, I remember you wanted Amari one time or something like that. You're like, I never played with Amari, I'm like, Amari,
yeah,
what's he gonna do with him, And then you know what I'm saying, and then I'm watching, but you play the right way, man. You play team ball, and LeBron James is my favorite player, you know, and that's why I like watching him play because I feel like he plays the right way, and I feel like you amplify that in your 2K games when you play. You play team basketball. You don't just throw it to one guy and clear out to the side like a lot of people do. And another thing too, I wanted to ask you about, and you kind of called me out with this. When I play against people all the years I've been playing, Chris, I usually when I'm on defense and the guy that has the ball. I'm embarrassed to say this, but I never played defense with the guy on the ball. And when I heard you say, "Oh, I'm not like that," when you're saying basically you need to stick the guy with the ball, I started doing it. It's hard to do that, man. Explain
it
to
is tough.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
Tough.
Explain to the audience if you play against somebody and you see them not guarding the ball, what is that telling you?
It just tells me that they just don't practice at certain things. The only way you're going to get better at it is if you practice. And what I believe is when you're playing somebody one-on-one in a game, you should be guarding them, defending them. They defend you because you're playing each other. You're not. If I wanted to have the CPU defending me, I would just play offline.
Right.
That's how I view it. If I wanted to have a CPU Chris Paul defending me, then I would play offline. So when I'm playing online, but really, when it comes to like quick rank games and stuff like that, I mean, anything goes. That I don't really care. Like when I play quick rank games, I'm not expecting anybody to guard me. I'm expecting them to stay in the paint with the center, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I can still go to work and score and win those games,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually do really good at quick rank because anything goes. Anything goes, and I can do what they do too. All
Right.
the abusing things they do, I can do that too.
Right.
But I'm not expecting that in the quick rank setting. But in the league setting, everyone in the league just agrees that we're going to guard each other because that makes it more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then player skill really comes out because the players that are actually really good at that are going to be doing good on defense, and they're going to be shutting down offensive tactics and moves. And so it's not really that bad when people don't want to guard you, but that in the quick rank setting, anything goes. So
Right.
it doesn't really bother me in the quick rank setting.
Mm-hmm. And I heard you in your last dual commentary. You guys were talking. You and Mr. 360 Beast. You guys were talking about the quick rank games with the Miami Heat. And
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you. Now I heard you mention players can beat Miami at the same time. Is that right?
Oh yeah. I think they can.
Which I think is kind of stupid, but here's my question, Chris. Now I heard you say that if somebody picks Miami, you'll be the Lakers. Do you think in the video game 2K itself, do you think Miami will be ranked or rated higher than the Lakers?
Probably because Dwayne Wade and LeBron are rated so high
Uh-huh.
that just their ratings alone are going to boost the entire team's overall ratings.
Right.
So they might be a little bit higher ranked.
Okay.
just with talent, and because Dwayne Wade and LeBron are elite defenders.
Right.
So if you have two elite, and I'm talking about elite, like defenders, their defensive attributes are in the 90s, high 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And then offensively, they both have 99 layup. They both have 90-something dunk, 90 handle, 90 speed, 90 pass. So just them two being on the same team is going to boost that ranking overall.
Okay.
So they probably will be. But the Lakers are going to be right there.
All right.
Because overall, their Lakers, their team is still, that's the thing that I think is going to be so fun to watch this season, is that even though they have LeBron and Wade and Bosh, the Lakers still have a team that can beat that team. It's possible for them to beat that team. They still have the advantages inside with Gasol and Bynum.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they win. They win because of that inside presence and because of Kobe. So I think it's going to be interesting to see. Most
definitely. I agree with you, and I'm going to touch on that on later on videos. But in my opinion, the Lakers are definitely the favorite, just for all the things you said. But let's talk about LeBron a little bit. A lot of people respect you here on YouTube, and they really, really want to know your opinions on a lot of different things. And I think the most popular or most important thing in the NBA to talk about is LeBron. That's what everybody wants to talk about. That's the hot topic. Now, I heard you touch on some things on your last dual commentary, so I won't repeat those things. But basically, I wanted to know, what was your whole feeling on LeBron James doing the 1 hour decision? Not saying why he should he have went to the Miami Heat or not. What's Chris Smoove's overall thoughts on LeBron actually doing the 1 hour decision?
I actually thought that it was a good idea because it was basically his free agency. That's all everybody talked about. Where's LeBron going to go? Is he going to stay in Cleveland? And even though people don't admit this, that day before, or the day leading up to the decision, that's what I was talking about. Whether you were at work, where you were, people were talking about LeBron. Where is he going to go? And it kept people talking. It kept people interested in the NBA. And I don't think it was a bad decision at all. He was able to earn some revenue. He was able to donate. He was able to do some things. And I really don't see what the big deal is about him doing the hour special.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chris, because anything that can keep light on our league, because they said that decision that LeBron did, that special, had a higher rating than any NBA regular season games. Do you know that? That was crazy.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
it's something that people wanted to know. So if people want to know something, you can exploit that.
Right.
And that's what people are doing. They're making reality shows. They're doing all these things, and that's just how it works. That's just how and people will give into that. People are criticizing the whole decision, but you watched it.
Exactly.
You didn't say I'm not going to watch it. You were watching it, and you couldn't wait to hear where he was going. So that's just how I see.
Right. Where did you think he was going to go? Right before, he announced it. Did you say, I know for a fact he's going here, or I think he's going there?
Before the decision ever started, right after the finals, I was just joking with Luke, my Cavalier friend.
Luke.
And
yes, sir.
And I told him, I was just joking. I said, the Miami Heat are going to cheese the free agency. They're going to get LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. I was just joking. I didn't actually think it would happen, but I was just joking. And pretty much that day, all the reports were saying that LeBron was going to Miami. Like all these sources, and so I was like, is he really going to go to Miami? But because nowadays with all that social media, if something like that gets out, it's got to be true. So I definitely thought he's definitely coming to Miami because of all the sources. You can't keep those things a secret anymore with Twitter, with Facebook, with all those things.
Oh yeah, right. There's no way. I don't care how tight they think they're going to be. It's not going to be that. Speaking,
he's going to tell somebody.
Yes, sir. Speaking of your boy Luke, I want to talk about him for a quick second. If you're Johnny Carson, he's obviously your Ed McMahon. He's your right-hand man. You know that, and he's got to be, I don't want to call anybody a sidekick, but he's definitely your guy that a lot of people enjoy you talking about and listening to. Can you tell everybody your relationship and how you guys became friends and things like that? Tell us a little bit about Luke.
That's actually a good question. Luke joined the league. He joined the WWS league when leagues weren't working. Okay. There was a time when they weren't working, but we were still trying to play them. And so when he joined, he was actually winning a lot of games.
Okay.
And back then it was so difficult to actually get a game to finish because they would usually disconnect somewhere. That was like one of the glitches. But he was actually doing really good. He had a good record. He was like on a 10-game winning streak, and I was like, I can't wait to play him because I love to play guys when they're on a very big winning streak. Like if someone's winning like 20 games in a row, I want to play that person because I want a shot at trying to stop that streak.
Right.
And when the leagues actually did start working, and I played him, I said, he's pretty good. He has knowledge of the game and he knows the fundamentals. And then really what happened was I wanted to play Modern Warfare 2 every once in a while to take a break from 2K.
Right.
Because I'm pretty much into basketball all the time. I play it in real life. I come home, I watch the games, I play the game. So, people always ask me, how are you always doing basketball and you never get bored?
Mm-hmm.
And so I actually wanted to play Modern Warfare 2 with someone, and no one in the league really wanted to play that game. But Luke did. Luke was like, I have that game, let's play. And so he would always come into the parties, and we'd be playing against 9 other people on the other team. And so it just became, anytime I wanted to play Modern Warfare 2, he wasn't in a league game, I wasn't, we would hop on Modern Warfare 2, and we would dominate. So that's pretty much how it happened. It's all over the internet.
Wow. So have you actually met Luke in person?
I've never actually met Luke. He lives in England.
Wow. That's an exclusive.
So Luke is just a good gaming friend.
Wow, okay. I thought you guys were like roommates or something.
Yeah, that's what people think. They think that way. Nope.
Okay, that's a good thing to know.